turn that down so I don't get yelled at upstairs. Welcome back to Explicit FPV. This is actually the second time I'm doing this because I kind of didn't like the first one. A little after 5, I'm editing. You know, I built this room, I built this city for rock and roll. I built this for the purpose of editing, and damn it if I've used it for that. I got my laptop set up, so if I were to go into editing, I have my editor here. So I can sit and just use this as kind of like the mouse itself and ignore that and have a ribbon. Ooh, taco burp. It's Drinko de Mayo today, so I got my drink of choice. Zombie Dust. Giggity. Good IPA. Man, I'm stuffy. Anyway, so I'm doing a little editing from our last weekend trip with Drone Tread on Me. Squanchy Concepts was nowhere to be found. He had more important things to do. Ha 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 ha. That's a poke at you, bro. Anyway, so as you saw, I did the Valley of the Quads, and that was a reference. If anybody can pick up the joke, the pun, the reference of that name title, hit me up in the comments. But I kind of wanted to do a video talking a little bit more about the Insta360 and its actual real capabilities in the real world. And for example, one of these videos that I'm doing right now, I could be wearing this on the chest, assuming that's even directed. I could be wearing it right here on the chest as a pendant, and I could be doing this video and you'd see both hands, or if I was building or what, blah 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 blah. Drone Tread on Me, Brian said it the best, that you know, GoPro needs to watch out, because GoPro, yes, makes a very expensive, great product, but they just don't, they're not for the consumer. I don't think they listen to the consumer, and I agree with them 100%. Insta came out with their first camera, which I loved in the beginning, and then I realized its limitations and what it could and couldn't do, but fell in love with the concept of it. And I wasn't anticipating or wanting to get this camera, and after watching a boatload of videos with the wife, when it was still kind of not out yet, it's still, you know, release date type thing, I fell in love with it, and then I realized that yes, I need that in my arsenal. As a very cinematic OCD flyer, one of my biggest pet peeves when you're cinewhooping, and I'll get more into it in a minute. With cinewhooping, when you're getting a particular shot, what drives me nuts is if you see the quad actually dipping. For that type of shot, for the exploration style flight, for me, for my OCD, having a line dumbass, a level horizon lock is crucial to me. I think that adds to the effect and gives you that feel. You know me, that every video I put out for you guys, you know, it's got to invoke an emotion. That is the whole key of the edit. It's art. You know, 500 people will look at the same piece of art and feel or see something different. And footage is the same way. Based on how you edit is how you're going to feel and how you're going to interpret it. So anything that I can add to the way that I like to edit, you know, I'm gonna shoot for it, and that's why I went for this camera, that style. And I think many cameras are going to continue in this fashion with its size, its, you know, footprint, and what its capabilities are, and the fact that you can get into and change things after the footage has been made digitally, and then print it. You could do an edit with multiple styles of like the wide, super wide, narrow, filters and other things, but all from the footage that's already been done. The SMO, which is another beta / Insta, very similar setup, just in that naked GoPro style, which catering to the audience, so to speak, I just think is absolutely remarkable. The only gripe I would have would be that it doesn't have horizon lock. Maybe that will come as an update if that's even capable. If you're able to do that, that would be the only thing that's missing from that. But I'm going to mess with the mount and put that on here. It's just the hat mount, which should be able to grip onto here and fly it on there and see how it handles itself on there. I think this is the way of the future. I think GoPro is going to get pushed back. Other than some of these, other hobbies or extreme hobbies, it's great because they're more durable, longer battery life. Like this has to be hooked. This is wired into the quad, so when it's flying, that would be its only drawback. I suppose you could put a little battery pack depending on what you're doing, but it's not waterproof, and I don't think it could handle the insane abuse that action cameras take. And Brian Drone Trot Me could be one to stand for that comment, because he is a true tester of the GoPro 8 and what its capabilities are before it doesn't work anymore, because that thing looks like it's been put through World War III, and it's still here. It's still rocking with us, and it's not the prettiest thing on the planet, but it gets the job done. But kudos to that. He should be a tester for GoPro. That would be a great job, because he puts that thing through the ringer. But anyway, I'm going to finish editing. If you have any questions about the Insta, I mean, it's a phenomenal camera. Yeah, it's a little expensive. I was very lucky and had a good opportunity. My finger's in the shot. I had the opportunity to get my hands on it, so I took the chance. It's probably the last thing I can buy for the hobby for a while. So I can finish working on the house and get some stuff done, and I somehow have to start looking at a new vehicle because the toaster's getting old. But that might be a ways off. But stay tuned. Oh, Zoe, the MOD, the Master of Disaster. She got her cast off today and got her pins out, and she's in a much happier mood. Her arm is very sore, and she's still got very limited mobility and still has nerve damage, which is going to take some time to heal. But she's got the cast off, and it's on the awesome road to recovery, and she's happy about it. I'd have her down here, but I wanted to relax, unwind. Didn't think I was going to make a video, and told her I wanted to just finish some editing. So she's probably upstairs watching YouTube or some shit. But next video, I'll have her come down and sit with me and talk, because I know you guys dig her goofiness as well as I do. Man, the tacos are killing me. Those are spicy. But anyway, any questions, if you want to hear more about it, I know Big Shout Patriot RC, he was asking, and I threw him a couple comparisons. It's not even worth, in many sense, trying to compare why this is better than the first. The specs themselves speak for themselves, just based on what I've had and used. The fact that one is only 1080p at 25 frames a second. This one will do 1440 at 50 frames, which is a weird frame rate, but it gets the job done. You can still, do slow-mo and get a smooth transition to slow motion with it. It's not bad. I hear people yelling upstairs. It's worth every penny. This is your remote and your charging station. You can change some of the settings in here. And then if you have the phone app, which you sort of technically need to have, you can live view through here what it sees, change certain things. And then when you open up the app after you have videos on there, you can go in, view them, and then you can change, edit, go from wide to super wide or to whatever the hell you want. And it sounds like there's a wolf howling upstairs, and I only have one kid up there. I hope to God she's not singing, or she's yelling at the cats or something. God knows. Anyway, yeah. So it has a lot of great features. One of my favorites is all I can hear is howling coming from upstairs. It doesn't get hot like the other one. It hasn't overheated and stopped recording. It records way longer than 5 minutes, depending on your setting. 1080, 720, 1440. I think I can do 30 minutes, and I could be wrong. It's 30 minutes with 1440 at 50 frames. Somebody made a comment saying it was 10, but I swear that the little icon for 30 minutes popped up when I was scrolling through it. But I don't have to worry about making sure I land or get all of the stuff I want in on that flight and then have to bring it in, stop, start, blah, blah, blah. It's getting everything. Is this flight, it's not chopped yet other than just before I take off. So that's where I took off. And that's at like 5:25. So I got the full battery, which is fantastic. Yeah, she's howling. I'm not going to, my kid get rabies? But yeah, so it's awesome. Pro in cons, it's tough. The fact that it's not wired to the quad would be one of the most beneficial things, so you're not drawing anything away from your flight time. Relatively about the same size, so to speak. One's a little, it's a touch smaller, but same thickness. I think this is easily as heavy or maybe a touch heavier than that. If you're going for like a low profile style, depending on the mount, you might get away with, if it's that way, being a little more low profile. But then again, you have the battery on the back, on the top, so it's very comparable. But yeah, all right, I'm rambling, I'm pooped. Let me get to it. Christian, Brian, I know you saw that I posted the video the first time and took it down. I just didn't like it, and it says go on. That's Christian. He's texting me right here. Yeah, so this will be up soon, and then you guys get to watch this. Stay safe.